Back home again in Vegas land. Hello, hello, back home. Here we are, jumping right back into the new route, or not the new routine, but jumping right back into the old routine. How's everybody doing? Ah, back home in Vegas. I want to be able to just jump right in and act like nothing happened. That's always hard, man. That is always so hard. I'm getting better at it. But I think Leah struggled a little bit more than me. We got back last night from Santa Maria, California, on the road for 6 hours. And every time we do this, we have a really hard time. I'm telling you, man, we got our little empire here, We got our little empire, we got our little routine. And then when we break out of that for 3, 4, 5 days or however long, and then we come back, we're always real like, oh, like I did the best that I could this time though to keep it up here, So I'm jumping right back into the routine. Leah had a hard time last night though. She's just like, oh, I feel weird being around all that family and for Thanksgiving. Got to go be around a bunch of family and all that good stuff and around a bunch of people, which we're not usually very often. A little bit draining, a little bit, but anyway, hello. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. How you doing? How are you doing? I kept up. You know what I think did it though? I kept running. I downloaded me this little running app, took my running shoes, like 3 pairs of running shorts. First thing every morning, went out and got me a run in. I'm down to it, almost an 8.5 minute mile. I was like, damn, I'm making progress. I ain't never been able to do nothing like that in my life. But I think that's what helped, keeping my body, moving and, burning calories every morning. I think that's what helped. But anyway, yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Got a bunch of personal readings to do too. And this wasn't planned. We didn't plan this at all. But because we kept getting emails and she's like, I don't know what to do. She's like, I don't know what to say to these people. They like, this one person wants a reading. And I was like, I tell you what, cut the price down and just tell them I'll get it done when we get back. And she said, that's a good idea. So that's what she started responding with. That if you really want it, you can go ahead and pay for it. But those 2 videos that I did, I was barely even able to do that. I was just going nuts, man. I don't like taking days off. I don't like it. It drives me nuts. I was like, I got to get something done while we're gone. Something. I asked everybody, I was like, yo, everybody knows what I do for a living anyway. I was like, if I go upstairs, will it bother y'all if I get a little bit of work done on my YouTube channel? It was like, no, as long as we're not too loud. And I was like, I don't even care. I'm going to go. So I went up and I put 2 videos up, But that was really not easy to do because there was so much stuff going on. There was a big old house, though. Big old huge house. Old house, too. Old house. Creepy. That was the thing about it, too. That the energy in this place was like, whew. It's like something you could film like a 70s horror movie or something like that in, Super, super cool. It was neat. But anyway. What's up with y'all, man? I'm sitting here babbling, still half asleep. What y'all up to? Yeah, everybody always tells me I need to take a break and refresh. I don't like it, though. I don't like it. Can't stand it. It's a totally different mentality that you get into when you're self-employed, Totally different mentality. Complete and total flip-flop from being an employee, where you're just begging and begging for that time off, And I can't say that I never get stressed out and overwhelmed. And that happens with my job, obviously, but the vast majority of the time, I don't want no time off. Hell no, dude. Hell no. I wish I could had all the time in the world to do nothing but work. Of course, that could also be my Virgo moon and rising too. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, that's what everybody says. That's so I do the best that I can, and when I'm put in a position, and I can tell the universe wants me to take a break, I try to roll with it. Try the best that I can to roll with it. But here's another thing too. Like, I think me and people like me, because I know I'm not the only tarot reader who has said this. I've heard multiple different tarot card readers say something similar to that. And I think what our problem is when we get like this is that it's not like your average, job where you got to get up, go to work, and go do things and be active and this and that. And you're burning your body out and you're burning everything out. And this is strictly energetic. This is all energy. This is all energy work that we're doing, all energy work. So it's real easy, I think, to like let that just slide under the rug because you can't really see it. Not really. You can't really see the work that we're doing because it's all energy. So it's real easy for us to just be like, oh, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. I'm sitting at a table flipping cards. Whoopie doo. So I think that's what it is. But also, too, I don't know. I just always realize every time we leave, man, I'm like, I miss Vegas. I always realize how much I miss it here, and how blessed we are. Always, because we're humans, man. We get caught up in that. Once you've been in your bubble for a long enough time, it doesn't matter how nice of a lifestyle you live. It doesn't matter. Once you get caught up in your own little bubble for long enough, you get annoyed with it. You get tired of it. Fuck this. I want to see something different. So every time we go leave and then come back for a little bit, we always, oh man, oh, we're so blessed. So I miss Vegas. I love Vegas. Love our house. So anyway. Yeah. Oh, of course we have guides in our lives. Absolutely. That goes without saying. Well, it goes without saying to some people, but absolutely. Anyway, though. Anyway. So, y'all got any good plans for the week? Come on, let's talk about something interesting, or I'm going to fall back asleep. Oh. Now, we slept on the most uncomfortable beds, dude. The most uncomfortable beds. That's another thing that I hate. It doesn't matter where you go. I don't care if we go to the nicest hotel room or what, but it's like when you're not in your own bed, man, dude. Anyway, can I explain cardinal energy? That's an interesting question. That is an interesting question. And I actually like that question too, because I personally think the behavior of energy, if we can figure out how to explain the behavior of energy, that to me is the most helpful thing. No matter what it is you're looking into, astrology or whatever, but cardinal energy is very pushy. Let's just put it that way. Very pushy, very go, now. Like that's what I always think of when I think of cardinal energy. Now. Pushy, come on. Let's go. Do now. Typically very impatient. Now, I'm kind of exaggerating it a little bit, but that's just to give you the idea of the way because cardinal means element of fundamental importance. Okay. So it's the initiative energy that initiates. So it's kind of pushy. But again, it just depends on the element too. It depends on the element. Now, Aries energy is obviously very pushy. I mean, that one's probably the most obvious one. Libra can tend to be of the air signs. It can tend to be like, I don't know, of all the air signs that I've ever observed, Libra energy always seems to be kind of the least stable, because it's always very pushy energy. Now, Capricorn is probably the most advanced cardinal energy. It's very pushy, very persistent, but it's at a pace. I always you all have heard me use my door analogy. You know what I mean? Like if you want something in life, it's like, I want to make my way through this door. Well, that Capricorn energy will just get up there and bang at that door. Bang, 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 and bang, bang until the door breaks, until it breaks open. You know what I mean? So that's the best explanation I can come up with for cardinal energy. It's and again, I don't want to like I'm exaggerating a little bit. I'm exaggerating it so that you understand what I'm talking about, but it's a pushy energy. You know, Cancer energy is cardinal water, cardinal water. But I always think pushy and persistent whenever I think of cardinal energy. That's the best way. That's the best words that I've come up with to for the behavior of that energy. You know what I mean? Pushy and persistent. Think about it. Think about it. Now, obviously, and then you have mutable energy, which is subject to change. Subject to change, mutable, changeable, adaptable. You know, like Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces are adaptable. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, let's try it this way. And if this doesn't work, okay, well, let's try it this way. And, adaptable. And obviously, then you have fixed, or you could call it immutable. I think that's probably, to me, that's a little bit easier to understand. It's the opposite of mutable, immutable, but fixed energy is just exactly the opposite as mutable. It's not very easily changeable. It's fixed in one spot. Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. Fixed, fixated in one spot. You think stubborn, very stubborn and very fixed and very. This is what my opinion is. And if you get a very low vibrational fixed energy, this is my opinion because it's my opinion. I don't care if you give me evidence that proves it otherwise. This is my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And I would rather burn in a blaze of glory than change my mind. Again, exaggerating, but see what I'm saying? Makes sense? That's what I primarily spend most of my time trying to do, is trying to come up with words that explain the behavior of energy. And at the end of the day, like I said, that's all it is that we're really dealing with. It's all it is that we're really dealing with is energy and how it behaves. To me, I think that's the most important. That's the most important to me. I mean, I know I'm only one piece. I'm only one little piece in this gigantic puzzle in the metaphysical community. But the behavior of energy, to me, I feel like that's the most important thing, So anyway, Pisces and Leo. Woo, it sounds like a challenging. Now here, okay, here we go. This is another one that I noticed several years ago, and I still see it all the time. Okay, we take the four elements: air, earth, fire, and water. This is one thing I've noticed, and I've seen this. I promise you. And once I tell you this, you're going to start seeing it everywhere. Okay, you have two groups of thinkers and two groups of feelers. Okay. That doesn't mean two groups of smart people and two groups of dumb people. I know that's what it sounds like. That's not what I mean, though. I mean, you have the two groups of the thinkers, oriented and governed by thought, planning, observing, more thought oriented. And then you had two groups that are emotionally driven. Can you guess who goes into what category? The air signs and the earth signs are the thinkers. The fire signs and the water signs are the feelers. Okay, so what you see an awful fucking lot of is air signs and earth signs coming together and fire signs and water signs coming together. Okay, because on a surface level, on the surface, we speak the same language. It's real easy to click and form a real tight connection because we speak the same language. You see it happen all the time on the surface level. But we come together, we stay together for a while, we link up on the same frequency, and we lock in. And now we're stuck together. We're at that stuck together type energy, Then that surface level starts peeling. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, we ain't nothing fucking alike at all. And I personally never witnessed it. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying me as an individual human, I've never witnessed it be successful. I'm sure it has. I'm not saying that it hasn't, but I've never witnessed it. I've been there. I was married to a Taurus. My first long-term relationship before that was with a Virgo. You know, you see it happen all the time. Air signs and earth signs coming together, fire signs and water signs coming together. And actually, that probably makes up about, I would say, a good 75 to 80% of the personal readings that I do. Good 75 to 80% of the personal readings that I do. It's always, I'm an Aquarius and I'm married to a Taurus, you know, it used to just blow me away how often I saw it, but now I'm just kind of used to it. You know what I mean? Or I'm a Virgo dealing with a Libra. You know, I'm an Aries dealing with a Cancer. That's the worst one. That one right there takes the cake. That takes the cake. I've seen that. If I had $1 for every Aries and Cancer coupling that I've seen, I could retire right now. Like, that is the most common one that's out there, Aries and Cancer. Or I'm a Pisces dealing with a Leo, you know, like you just said. I see it all the time, dude. And I just found that kind of fascinating. It's kind of fascinating, you know what I mean? Kind of fascinating, but I don't know. I don't like to roll like that personally. That's just me, though. Air and fire, water and earth. That's the way I like to roll. Because to me, and the way I look at it and the way I personally view it, what we want to do, we don't want to just come together and get stuck together on the same frequency. Okay. The whole point, the whole goal of coming and being a human is to go down to the lowest vibrations of 3D and raise up out of it. The lowest vibrations of 3D and raise up out of it. So the goal is to raise up out of these low frequencies, not stay in them the whole fucking lifetime, you know. But that's what your average person does, is they come and they find a frequency and they get stuck on it and they stay on it their whole life. And that's not what I'm doing. I don't know about anybody else out there, but I didn't come here to just get stuck on one frequency and stay there my whole life. So we come together, we are changing frequencies together as a unit. You can't be a part of my life unless you're ready to change yours. So be ready for the discomfort of evolution and change if you want to come be a part of my life, because I'm evolving, you know. That's just me, though. Oh, that's just me. I think that was like what I was mainly meant to do in this life, though. Whew. Oh, excuse me, y'all. No, I got a bunch of y'all yawning right now. Sorry, my bad. Still waking up slow. Yeah, I used to guess people's signs all the time. I used to be good at it too, man. I used to be real good at it. And that's another thing that I was thinking about the other night too. Whenever, you know, I've been on here and everybody asks me, what do you think of this kind of astrology or Vedic astrology or this kind of astrology, whatever the case, whatever. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I get asked that question all the time. And all I'm going to say is this. If the type of astrology that it is that we are working with and using and whatnot was not accurate, how the fuck can I guess your sign? How can I guess your sign? How can I do that? Because again, what we're looking at is energies and how it behaves. That's all we're looking at. So we're given a certain time frame from the middle of one month to the middle of the next month, give it a name, and we're given a list of energy behavior patterns. That's what we're given. Those are the categories that we have to think in. And maybe we're just creating it for ourselves. But I don't know. From what I've witnessed and the testing and the observing and the experiments that I've, undergone with this, pretty fucking accurate. I haven't done it in a really long time because I'm not around people like that. I'm not given the opportunity to do it. But back when I was out working day jobs and out mingling with the public all day, every day, I had probably a 95% accuracy rating. I could guess your fucking sign. I could. 90 to 95% of the time, I was dead on the money, dude. It was either your sun or your moon sign. It was either your sun or your moon sign, and I was fucking bang on with it. I could guess that motherfucker, dude. So whenever that's And again, this is one of those things that, when I'm on here and I'm waking up in the morning and I'm half asleep and my coffee's kicking in and, it's just random. Whatever we talk about is just totally random and not scripted and I haven't really thought about it. But then whenever I get off of here, I'll start thinking about something that I talked about, and I'm like, well, I should have said this or I should have said it that way, and that's one of the things I was thinking the other day about when people ask me about different kinds of astrology. If this type of astrology that I'm working with is not accurate, how the fuck can I guess your sign then? And I can guess it. Like I said, at the end of the day, I don't really care what's happening up there in the sky. I really don't. We are given a time frame and a list of energy behavior patterns. And it's accurate as fuck. I don't care what name you want to give the little box of time, like from January 31st to February 18th, that's Aquarius. Okay, so we have that box of time and that name and a list of energy behavior patterns. Now, again, like I was telling you all the other day, the last I heard some dude say that he took a look up in the sky with a telescope. And he's like, what's actually happening up there is not what they're telling you on the fucking internet. The sign that it says it's in on the internet is not what fucking sign it's in. And I saw it with my own eyes. Now, I didn't see it, so I don't know. So I'm not stating this as an opinion. I'm not stating this as a fact because I don't fucking know. I don't own a telescope. But that's one of the last things that I heard is a dude took a telescope and he looked up at the sky and he says, dude, the shit that they're telling you on the internet is a fucking lie. And he said, I got to looking into it. Nobody looks at the sky. They look on the internet. The internet's lying to you. It's not in the sign of Aquarius during this time. It's not in the sign of Libra during this time. It's a lie, and he went through this big, long, and my thing is, okay, cool, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I don't really give a shit. All I'm looking at is the energy behavior patterns. Because from what I am seeing on the internet, okay, maybe during the sign that I was born in, maybe it was really under Pisces. Okay, well, that just means you change the name. But for that block of time and that list of energy behavior patterns, it's fucking accurate. It's fucking accurate. So I don't really care what name you want to give it. It makes sense. Hope it makes sense. I did think a little bit more about how to explain that, how to talk about that, but yeah. Anyway, though. Anywho, if you look close enough, you'll see somebody's true energy. If you look close enough, they don't have to show it. If you look close enough and you know what to look for, they'll show it. They will show it. Yeah, they sure will. They sure will. You got to know what to look for. You got to know how to read between the lines. Between the lines. I'm not listening to what you're saying. I'm listening to what you're not saying. I'm not paying attention to what you're doing. I'm paying attention to what you're not doing. I'm reading between the fucking lines. You know what I mean? You'll always find the energy between the lines. Always. Always, always. But anywho, it's my favorite thing to say. That means it's time to change the subject. Anywho, cool transition. Anywho, so Libra and Scorpio. Well, that's air and water. Air and water. Been there and done that many times. Air and water. I've never seen it be successful. Not really. It doesn't mean that it can't be. I'm not one of these types of people that says that you have to do this in order for astrology to be compatible. And because again, at the end of the day, what I say is that you and me, we are all beings of light and consciousness. Okay, and those energies are governing the ego. They're governing the ego. Okay. Not the spirit. So the signs, the astrological signs and energies, that's governing the ego, the brain, the body, the emotions, all the things that are produced by the ego, the avatar, the skin suit, So at the end of the day, if you figure out how to vibrate higher than that and you vibrate above the ego, skin suit, emotions and thoughts and whatnot, then Yeah. But by themselves, Libra and Scorpio energy by themselves, I would imagine that would be a very difficult energy combination. You know, cardinal air and fixed water. Woo, woo. Of course, I'm only speaking from my own experience too, as a fixed sign, dealing with another fixed sign. It's not fun, man. It's not fun. Any fixed signs out there you ever get with another fixed sign before? It's not fun, is it? Oh, that'll really help you take a look at yourself, though. You get with another fixed sign, get into an argument, watch how far it goes. It don't go nowhere. It don't go nowhere. Two fixed signs will spin around in a circle for fucking eternity on an argument, man. I'm gonna tell you what, dude. I said my ex-wife was a Taurus. Oh my god, man. And that was our problem. Neither one of us would back down to the other. Neither one of us would. You know, neither one of us would. But anyway, yeah, I bet you it's difficult. I bet you it is. I bet it is difficult. But I mean, so I know personally a Scorpio who is with an Aquarius. And the last I've seen, the last I've heard, I don't live with the people. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but it seems pretty successful so far. Seems pretty successful. Hey, if you're a skilled enough energy worker, I'm sure you can make anything work. You know what I mean? I'm very sure that you could. Very sure that you could. Like I said, I mainly come from a place of, since I study and observe energy behavior so much, that I just kind of locked in to the element that complements my element more than anything else. You know, and I've just always liked the fire element. Just always liked them. Just always liked them, man. Just always liked, as an air sign, I've always liked the fire element. You know, Aries and Sagittarius. Now Leo, that's my opposite. That's my opposite. So Leo is the opposite. So that's always been a very different, but I've always really, that's another one, man. Leos, I've always somehow been able to make really good buddies with them, real good friends. Never really ventured too far into the dating ring. I mean, I kind of saw Leo one time and it went absolutely nowhere, but never really ventured too far into the whole dating. Now, Leah has a Leo rising. That's the funny thing. Leah has a Leo rising, you know, and I just get to kidding and poking every now and then. And I get to kidding and poking. She'll be like, go ahead and tell me, babe. It was a good idea. Tell me. That was a good idea that I had, wasn't it, babe? And I was like, yeah, Leo rising. Me, myself, and me. Tell me how good my idea was, you know? And I'll kid and poke at her. So I guess, come to think of it, then if I really zero in on that, then I guess I kind of have, you know. But as far as sun sign placement, I've never like dated or gotten really seriously involved with a Leo sun sign. But and I need to study more on the rising sign too, honestly, because that's Leah's rising sign, you know. So don't know much about it though. Aries and Scorpio. Yep. Aries is all with a Gemini. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I would imagine that again, they're like, you can't ever say that just because two elements are compatible means that they're gonna magically work together magically. That's not, you know what I mean? But if the two of you are really working towards it, and Aries and Gemini, that could be that could be much more harmonious and much less challenging. Let's just put it that way. If the two of you are putting forth the work and the effort, you know, and it's always going to take work and effort. I know that we all know this, but sometimes we need to be reminded that it always takes work and effort. Always. That's why I'm real careful with my wording. You know, I'm careful with the way that I word things. I don't like to use phrases like person I'm supposed to be with. You know, I don't like that phrase. I don't like the phrase person I'm meant to be with. I don't like that phrase. I don't like using it like that. I like to say your person or your match, you know, because sometimes we need to pay a little bit closer attention to neuro-linguistic programming and what some of the ideas that we accidentally program into our own heads. And I've witnessed lots and lots of people, myself included at one point, witnessed lots and lots of people who accidentally fall victim to this idea that there's this person out there who's just supposed to show up in your life, and they're just meant to show up in your life one day. And then once they do that, oh, well, you're meant to be here. You're supposed to be with me. So I can just kick my feet back, you know, chill back on my armchair. Everything is rainbows, unicorn farts, and Skittles falling from the sky, and everything is just beautiful and beef and gravy. And woo, you know. Sometimes, and I know, even the most logical people on the planet still kind of have that idea tucked away in their head sometimes, you know, and that's not the way that it works. When you attract your person, that's not the way that it works. So I know I'm kind of spinning off onto a different subject here. Just play along. But so I like to use phrases like your person, your match. That's what I like to use, you know. So yeah, it's much easier from what I've seen, from what I've witnessed, from my own personal experience, and in the experiences of others that I've witnessed. I've seen a much less challenging success rate with air and fire, water and earth. You know what I mean? And what I mean, again, by success is not just come together and stay stuck together on the same frequency your whole life. That's not what I mean. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. That's you. That's personally not what I'm here to do. I'm here to evolve and grow. Evolve and grow. So when I say success, relationship success, what I mean is we come together and we turn like gears on a machine, and that machine is climbing a mountain, you know, and we make our way up the mountain together as a unit, you know. Sounds easy. Oh, it's challenging, isn't it? It's challenging, isn't it, to get two people coming together working on the same page like that. It's challenging. It's challenging, you know, very challenging. But anywho. Oh, you got a hoodie, Kelly? That's badass. Cool. Yeah, I ordered me one of the zip hoodies too. Appreciate you. That's cool. So yeah, I was just wearing it yesterday too. I wore it most of my trip out there. I got one of the maroon red shirts with the minimal design on it, you know, and I got an email about 3 or 4 months ago from Teespring saying, and don't quote me on this verbatim, but it was saying something to the effect of, you might want to open your store and check the prices on your merchandise because we're doing some kind of changing of the product quality, you know, like what type of products they're using and the quality of the products, and it's going to affect the prices basically. I never did it. I was like, I don't really give a shit as long as it's still up there. I don't put that stuff up there to make money. I don't. I put that up there for you all. I can make as much or as little as I want off those shirts and shit. And I keep saying, damn it. I keep saying I want to see if I can find spring. I seriously lowered it. Like on the hoodies, I make $1. $1. $1. And I make $1 off that shit. But you have to make something. You know what I mean? They won't let you take it down to where there's no profit, because then they don't make any profit. You know what I mean? So you have to have the price set to something that where you at least make like $1, you know? Let me see if I can figure out. Dude. Okay, payouts. Okay, look. Okay. You currently have $5.22 ready to be paid out. See that? Teespring. Currently have $5.22. And that means that I sold like maybe 5 shirts or 5 hoodies or something like that, you know? Every time I get on there, it'll say like you have $1. Or this one time, a couple of weeks ago, it said you have like $25. And I was like, damn, sold 25 shirts then, you know? But yeah, Anyway, though, yeah, and it is good quality shit too, man. It surprised me. Surprised the hell out of me. I just got tired of my old logo. I just got tired of that. You know, it was super cool. The lady that did it for me did it for free. She just sent it to me. She said, here, you can have this. You know, I was like, damn, that's badass. I didn't go out searching for a logo. I didn't go out looking. The lady just made it for me and said, here, you can have this for free. This is just what I do. I'm like passionate about designing things and whatnot, and she made it for me. But she also made the minimalist logo too. So there was a few different things that she made, but with the face hands and the big RL next to it, you know, that was on my shirts for the longest time. But I was like, you know what? I want to do a little minimalist, kind of like this right here. See what I'm saying? Like GL. And a lot of people who just go by their first name, they'll have their initials as their logo, you know? I was like, man, you know what? She made me an initials logo along with that big logo. I think I'm going to try that for a little bit, you know? And I think it looks much more professional and neat looking. But anyway, no, I don't really know how to read birth charts. I'm not real good at that. No, not really. Not really. That shit is confusing looking, dude. Confusing looking. Confusing. Like I said, the main thing when it comes to the metaphysical department, the main thing that I specialize in is the behavior of energy. The behavior of energy. And it's not just astrological energies either. I primarily specialize in energy behavior and manifestation. What I actually specialize in more than anything is how to play with energy, you know, how to understand what my energy is doing, how it's affecting the world around me, how the universe is responding to my frequency, and how to change and reprogram my frequency. Basically, to change and reprogram the patterns of events that happen in my life. You know what I mean? So, yes, all is very well with me and fam. Very, very well. Anyway, yeah, we're back in Vegas, man. Back in Vegas. I missed it here. You know, we always, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, we always, you know, reflect on how blessed we are when we come back here. You know, so blessed. And like I was saying here, coming up in April, our lease is up. I want to extend it another year. Personally, that's what I want to do. I'm not signing it, stamping it, and sealing it. That's not the official verdict, but that's where my feeling is right here in this moment. November 2021. You know, I want to extend the lease another year. I want to, because we at first we were looking for all kinds of other houses. We were looking for another. The first thing that we wanted, the very first thing that we wanted was space. That's the first thing we wanted. That's the original reason why we wanted a new house. We wanted space. Space. Okay, because our houses are too clumped together out here in this neighborhood. Like, I don't know if you can see this. As a matter of fact, look. Can you see out this window here? That's my neighbor's roof. That's the top of my neighbor's house. See that? This is how close together the houses are in this neighborhood. That's the top of my neighbor's house, right outside my window here. So that's a lot, all the way around. We're all jam-packed together. So we wanted space. So we started looking, and there's all kinds of beautiful things that we could find here in Vegas, but not space. Oh, no. Nope. This is as good as it gets right here. This is about as good as it gets. Not a whole lot more space that you can get than this, you know, privacy. So that's when we were really kind of like, okay. And then we were going to move my mom out here. We decided, okay, whatever. Let's just scrap the idea of trying to find a house. Let's move my mom out here because my mom lives in an RV. So I was going to buy her a little house or something like that, you know. But then that didn't end up happening. So because of her dogs, you know, they're gonna find a place there in Florida that I think they have family or friends or something. Somebody they work something out there in Florida. So now after all that mess, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just stay, dude. Let's just stay. We need to quit acting like we're so ungrateful, you know? And she's like, yeah, you're right. We were acting like little spoiled brats, you know. I'm bored. I want a new house. I'm bored, you know? And I'm like, let's just stay and continue to be grateful for what we have. And then if a doorway opens, we'll go through it. If not, don't worry about it. We're very blessed. I'm very blessed. You know, my kids have stability for the first fucking time in their lives. I have stability for the first time in my adult life. You know, They're in the school system. They got neighborhood friends. This is a gorgeous neighborhood, beautiful home, smart home. Like I don't really care about all this shit, but like you can turn the AC on and off, and lock and unlock the doors, and all that shit with an app on your phone. I don't use that because I think that's kind of stupid, but whatever. I mean, we're just really blessed. You know what I mean? So, and every time we take a trip out of town, we're reminded of how blessed we are. So, anyway, anywho, I don't want to go to Florida. Nah, don't want to go to Florida. We went and visited. Visited my mom back in May. We like it here, man. We like it here. For some fucking unknown reason, universe drug us here. And this is even the moves we tried to make to get out of here, because we've made a couple attempts to see if we could get out of here, out of this house, or out of Vegas. No doorway wanted to open. And I'm not going to tell the whole story. For those of you who have heard me tell the story, this is for the new people. For those of you who new here who don't know, I just got my kids back. New Year's Day 2020. New Year's Day. Think about that timing there, I flew out to Louisville, Kentucky, picked my kids up, and at the time we were living in a 1-bedroom apartment that's not much bigger than this fucking room in Bullhead City, Arizona. So we had to get the kids their own room. They didn't have a room. We had a mattress on the living room, So we jumped real quick into this still tiny, but it was a 3-bedroom apartment. It was still tiny though, still teeny tiny, but we had to get them their own room and their own beds, And then the longer we sat there, we're just like, man, this is still too tiny for 2 adults, 2 kids, and 2 cats. So we're like, we need a house. We need more space for all of us cram packed it into this little apartment. So this was right when the lockdowns first started happening. And nobody would let us in. Nobody. No one. No matter where we looked. All up and down throughout Arizona. All up and down throughout California. Nobody would let us in. And then we almost got a house in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And then somebody snatched it out from under us because their move-in date was sooner than ours, We were like, damn it, man. Finally, we were like, all right, fuck it, whatever. Let go of it. Just completely let go of it. So we let go of it and forgot about it for like a couple of weeks. And then she approached me one day and she said, I don't know if you're going to like this idea, but what about Vegas? And I said, at this point, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if it's Vegas. I don't care if we go to LA. I don't care if we go to New York City. I don't care if we go to Chicago, Miami, Dallas. I don't care. We need a house. And she said, well, there's this house that's going to let us in Vegas. I said, do it. We didn't even get to tour this place until the day we moved in. We didn't even know. You know what I mean? So that was the only doorway that would open. And we got here, and universe will not let us leave. So anyway, I don't know what point I was making a point and I forgot what it was. Damn it, man. Anywho, I don't know what it is. I have no idea. Yeah, I was in New England. I was up there for about 1.5 years by myself. And then right as soon as my YouTube channel popped off, I moved out of there. It was beautiful, though. I was thinking about it again the other night in New England, Maine. I was living in Maine. Farmington, Maine is where I was living. And that little town will always hold a special place in my heart, man. I did so much healing. And it's just this little bitty shit splat town in the middle of the forest in Maine. Maine is just a big forest, basically, just a big old forest. And I just did so much healing there, and so much healing and manifesting and whatnot. But yeah. I like New England. Was Dallas crowded? Yeah, man, it's fucking almost. Well, man, I liked it that was the one thing I liked about Santa Maria where we just went. It wasn't crowded. Vegas is crowded. It's crowded. 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. It'd be crowded, like rush hour. Like, God damn, man. That's the only thing I didn't like about it here. But if you can get used to that, if you can get used to the big crowds. Anyway, anywho. I'm glad it helped you, Rita. Glad it helped you. It helps me too when I do these talks. Helps me too. Gets my brain all good and fired up and ready for the day. I digs it. A worm digger. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, Maine was nice, man. It was just really weird. Very strange. It was weird. I mean, it was just like its own little universe, you know? And if this is another one of those things where I almost don't really want to sit here and try to explain it, because you know those things, you know how where either you live somewhere or you go do something or you go to a place and you can't explain the vibe, you have to go see it for yourself. That was Maine in New England. If you've never been up there, then I can't explain the vibe, but it's very different, very different feeling, you know. But here's the funniest thing that I found about Maine is that it was very backwoodsy, but the mentality, like, how am I going to explain this? It's so fucking weird. The mentality of the people is very East Coast, quick. You know what I mean? Like very, you know. I don't know how to explain the fiery, uppity, you know, not laid back and chillaxed at all. You know, that East Coast fiery, in a hurry, but it's backwoods. The houses didn't even have air conditioners, dude. You know what I mean? Like, houses don't have central air. If you say anything about central air up there, they will look at you and laugh. You know, like, they heat their houses with oil and propane. You know, every house has a big tank sitting outside of it with oil, and that's what you heat the house with during the winter. And I don't know, it's just real strange. And the accent, oh my God. I don't think I ever totally got used to that accent up there. You know, up there in Maine, man, it's strong. And everywhere I went, where are you from? You know, and they act like I was the weird talking person. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, because everybody would always comment on my accent, and I'm thinking, man, you all are the weirdest talking people I have ever met in my travels. I've been to a lot of different places. I've been to almost every state, so many different cities up there in New England, especially in Maine and whatnot, and Massachusetts, and that area up there in the northeast corner of the map are the weirdest talking people in this whole fucking country. They are the weirdest talking people in this whole country. But anyway. But anyway, yeah. Yep, and I lived in Idaho too. That's also a universe in and of itself. That's also a universe in and of itself, man. Idaho, totally different universe up there. It's cool, man. But, you know, oh, here's another thing that me and Leah were talking about the other day. See, before you get up, if you are just have been living in the same place your whole life, the world seems big. It seems huge. It seems like there is this humongous world out there. But the more you get up and travel, and the more places and you go see, and the more people you meet, the world gets smaller and smaller and smaller. The more you see, you know, it's weird. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So, yeah, very small world. And I know that sounds cliche, and I'm not big on cliches. So if it wasn't true, I wouldn't be saying it. I don't just say cliches like that, you know, but it is a very small world, very small. Midwest? You mean like Illinois and Minnesota and all that? I've been through a lot of those places. Yeah, been through there. Never did any kind of like. Let me think. Yeah, I've never stayed long term. You know, never stayed long term. But I've been through all those states. You know, Minnesota and what's the other one? Wisconsin and all those. I tell you, some of the states that I found the most fascinating to pass through were like Wyoming and Montana. Were like, I never did any kind of staying there, but I've been through them several times and just looking, like on a bus traveling, just looking. And then whenever we'd stop and get out and just looking, just like, man, beautiful. One thing, and I still haven't figured out how this works. I haven't figured out how this works. But you take a look at the map and you can see it reflected on the map. When you're over on the East Coast, everything seems crunched in. Everything seems really bunched in and crunched in. When you look up at the sky seems very low. You look out on the horizon's not very far away. When you come out west here and you look out, it's vast, vast. I haven't figured out how that works or why that works that way. And it's just so funny that all the states are smaller on the East Coast. But I'm not talking about space like this. I'm talking about if you look up at the sky is lower and the horizon is real close when you're over on the East. The horizon isn't very far away at all. You come out here, that horizon, like right now, I'm looking at mountains. Like over my neighbor's house right there. If I look up over there, you can see mountains. They're probably 40 miles away, 40, 50 miles away. It's crazy. It's weird. I don't know how that works. And like you get out there to like Wyoming and Montana and whatnot, vast. I mean, you get out there and you just look and it just looks like you can see for hundreds of miles. And the sky is just endless. It's weird. I don't know, man. I don't know. Boston, yep, I've been there. Been there many times. The majority of the visiting I've done in Boston, though, was mainly for like layovers on a bus. And those were in my travels. I did a lot of traveling on bus, when you get a layover, especially if you get like a 3, 4, 6 hour layover in a city, man, I walk around, go walk around to different bars and have drinks and shit. And I always loved that whenever I first started traveling. Man, I got a 3-hour layover in Chicago. Okay, well, I'm going to go see me some Chicago. I'm going to go walk around and get to know some people. As long as I got my phone on me, GPS, so I can find my way back to the bus station when my bus is about to leave. I'm going to walk around and just not really mingle with people, but just look and observe and go to the bar and get some drinks. And, I don't know. It's always fun. Always fun. All right. You have a good one. Have a good one, Hermit's Corner. Have a good one. It's going to be time for me to get out of here real soon, too, anyway. Okay. Hang on. Okay. All right. Yep. It's gonna be time for me to get out of here in a couple of minutes. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I had a bunch of messages that I had to look at there. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to get on here and say I'm back in black. Those of you who ordered personal readings while we're gone, I'm getting started on those today. That'll be today and tomorrow. Today and tomorrow will be dedicated to getting all the personal readings done. So anyway, I am going to just go ahead and get out of here, y'all. I appreciate you tuning in and listening to me blab and run my mouth. I'm going to try to come up with something cool to do on my main channel today. Maybe some more December readings, maybe the weekly forecast or something like that. But anyway, until next time, y'all enjoy the rest of your day.